Good evening, YouTube. Welcome back to another Late Night Rip Sesh. Thank you for joining me. Tonight, we will be opening a Mega Evolution Phantasmal Flames booster box. Because if you watched the last video, we managed to pull the secret illustration rare Pikachu from the Surging Sparks booster box. So, I was hoping we could recapture the magic and pull a Charizard secret illustration rare. So, wish me luck. So let's see. I think we will start with the left side, per usual. I was wondering, do you think I should run an experiment where I weigh the packs? Because that used to be a thing. And to tell you the truth, I've already done it. But I think it would be a fun video to do. To maybe open a booster bundle, maybe not a whole box, but what do you think? Should I test weighing packs and see what happens? Spoiler, you can't do it anymore. It doesn't work. Anyway, we have a new Pokemon I have not seen before, so forgive me if I pronounce the names wrong, but it looks like we have a Krokorok, followed by a Cresselia, and I spoiled the bottom there a little bit, but let's see what it is. Right off the get-go, we have an Oricorio EX. Pretty good for a first pack. Let's sleeve it up. And a Darkness Energy. Very nice card. I particularly enjoy the diagonal holographic pattern contrasted with the sparkles, the little star shapes that are reminiscent of the old Wizards of the Coast hollows. Quite nostalgic for us millennials. So, our next pack will be this Gengar pack. Or rather, what kind of Gengar is that? Is it a Mega Gengar or the Dynamax Gengar? I know there are tons of different forms of Pokemon now, but I'm not entirely up on all of them. So again, please feel free to educate me down in the comments. Let's see here. Again, this is why I like cutting the packs, but maybe this one I didn't cut that well. So I like to keep the pack as intact as I can. There we go. I'm gonna do the card trick again. Anyway, we have a Murkrow, and Ampabomb, Ambipom. There we go. It is a rare reverse hollow, and for our rare slot, we have a regular hollow Ambipom, followed by a fighting energy. And then I guess for the bulk, we can do a quick pass. All right. Next up, let us hope that Charizard resides in this pack. Let us do the card trick. And we have a Paldean Tauros, an Archelodon, followed by a Moltres. Very nice, classic, legendary bird. More of a horizontal pattern on this one, the hollow. And a psychic energy. Here's our bulk, a Charmander. Apropos for this pack. We have another Gengar pack. I have a feeling this will be another normal pack. We have an Oddish, a Rinplup. Here's something else that interests me, and again, maybe one of you might have some insight. But this is a second form of this evolutionary line. However, it is a common. Usually, and I may have commented on this before, but usually the first form is the common, the second form is an uncommon, and the final form is the rare, usually a hollow, or I guess in these modern sets, some form of EX or a full art. Anyway, we have a Mega Sharpedo EX for this pack. Not bad. And then a Grass Energy. Looks like we have two of the same pack again, because we had two Gengars before. This time it is a. I believe this is Low Bunny, Low Punny, something like that. Again, I'm sure one of you will correct me. The extent of my knowledge pretty much ends at the gold and silver era. So, Generation 2. There we go. I believe the hollow has been spoiled, and it will be another normal pack. However, I'm fairly confident we'll start getting some hits soon. We have a Nimble, an Alchemy, and a Palmot. Ah, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably the most common or most heavily printed holo in this set, and a water energy. And I think that because I have opened quite a few Phantasmal Flames in search of that Charizard, and boy howdy, do I have some Palmot. Going through the bulk, I believe Gloom was in the second slot in the last pack, right? Next up is this Heracross, right? Or some variant of it. Again, I believe this will be a normal pack. We have a Toxel, a Jigglypuff, and I called it a Reshiram, followed by a Fire Energy. I did say in the previous video that I believe when you try the card trick, that is, you take the last four cards, not counting the code card, of course, and you put them in the front of the pack. When you do that, I am of the opinion that if the cards stick a little bit, that means you might have something good. If the cards stick, you might have a hit. Haha. Anyway, we have a Dawn, a Piplup, full hollow, very nice, followed by a Flygon. The cards tend to stick if that particular hit is very textured. If it's textured, it will, or rather, it tends to grip onto the card in front of it. So when you go to do the card trick, it might stick a little bit. However, such is not always the case, obviously, and this is one example because I just put it in here. These full art cards are smooth. They have a very smooth finish. They don't tend to be textured. So that's why you can't really tell. But if it's some fancy rainbow card or something like that with a lot of texture, a lot going on, it will tend to rip the card in front of it. I'm sure you've probably experienced that. So that's just my opinion. But of course, I'm not always right. Anyway, we have another Charizard pack here. So let's hope we can get the poor guy out of there. That was very smooth, so we'll see. I went too far. We have a Dawn, bulk card, a Grand Bull, oh, a full art Zacian. Again, very smooth, so it doesn't tend to grip. And then we have a Bile Plume, followed by Dark Energy. How much you want to bet there is a Oddish or Bile Plume card behind this one? Let's see. No, it wasn't going to be 3 for 3. Very nice looking card. Next up, we have this Gengar pack. We have a Charcadet, a Dizzying Valley, and a Charizard. Just a regular one, though. Still pretty cool. Very nice coloring. The hollow effect with the flames is most certainly phantasmal. Hopefully, this is a sign of things to come. Another Lopunny pack. We have an Absol, a Linoon, and another Flygon, followed by a Psychic Energy. Let us look at the bulk. Charmander, next up, we have a Heracross pack. That card might be something, but we'll see. We have Ceruledge, Bramblegast, and a Zacian. I was incorrect. Water Energy. Let's have a look at the bulk. Would be cool if we got Charmeleon as well to complete the line. The next pack is another Heracross pack. They seem to look. I was suspecting this after a minute. They seem to be going like this. Charizard, Charizard. Let's see. Gengar, Gengar. Lopunny, Lopunny. These were printed in an order. I haven't seen that before in a pack, or in a booster box, rather. That's interesting. I have pulled consecutive hollows. I think in a perfect order box one time I pulled the hollow Gengar and then the hollow Gengar, the same one. Anyway, there's the code. Smooth cards. We have a Genesect. This is a rare reverse hollow. A Snubble. And a Rotom EX. EXs are also quite smooth. Let's sleeve him up. It's a grass energy. In case you didn't know. In our Surging Sparks box, we had only received 3 EXs like this. All of the other cards were a Mega or better. And right now, we are tracking similarly. We have 2 EXs, 2 Megas, and 2 full arts. We have yet to hit the bigger hits of this box. And yet, we are, let's see, 12 packs deep. Just wanted to do a little update like that. First up in our double header of Charizard packs, we have Toxel, Wondrous Patch, and Toxtricity, followed by a Steel Energy. Let us look at the bulk. I like Boltund. Pretty cool Pokemon. Like a lightning dog. Pretty neat. Contains a Haunter, a Bronzong, and another Ambipom, and another other Steel Energy. We shall look at the bulk. Our next pack is Gengar. We have a Lombre or Lomber. I'm sure I will be corrected. a Zigzagoon, and another Vileplume. Darkness energy. Oh, I have a question once we look at the bulk. And that question is, did they do away with fairy Pokemon? I remember for a while that was a thing, and now they seem to have gone away. I haven't seen any in these more modern sets. Did they get rid of them? They retired that typing? Did it not fit within the meta anymore? Let me know. We have Yamper. Looks like he's gonna start yamping up a storm. We have a reverse hollow Zacian. This is a rare. We pulled the regular one earlier. And another Moltres. Water energy. Another Piloswine that kicked off another pack. There's a Charmeleon. Now we have the full evolutionary line. I want to take another look at that Charmeleon, actually. Very cool. I like how there's just a lot of action going on in this artwork. He's sliding down mountain, it looks like, ready to shoot a fireball at something. And is it? Oh, it's a common. Yeah, I do find that interesting. That yes, that the middle evolutions can still be commons in these modern sets. I wish, or maybe again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I wish the energy cards could still be hollow. I pulled one before, a golden energy card. I just wish they did that more often. Anyway, we have Eternatus. I actually have been coming around to this Pokemon. I don't know much about it, but the some of the cards that I've seen it in, I find quite appealing. We have a Suicune Reverse Hollow. This is a rare, which is nice. And a Reshiram. Electric energy. Again, would be cool if once in a while they were hollow. Let us observe the bulk. We have a Gligar, Swinub, and a Genesect. Fire energy. Man, this box. Well, Yeah, did we get two of those in the same? Yep. Wouldn't that be cool if one of these packs was all Charizard cards? That would be fun. Nice. We have a Genesect, which is a rare reverse hollow, followed by a Ramblin, and then another Zacian. Zacian? Carvana. Isn't that where you buy used cars? Charmeleon again. It seems the pattern is now broken. We now have a Charizard, a Heracross, a Gengar, then a Charizard. We have Palmo, a Blowtorch, and another Toxtricity. Grass Energy. We have a Vileplume, rare reverse hollow, followed by a Duraludon. I really like this artwork. I actually think this artwork was done quite dirty by being on a common card. This should be a scene. It is so freaking cool. Anyway, we finished that pack with a regular hollow Suicune. I don't think we pulled one yet from this box, but we have the Gloom, the Charmander in the second slot, another Duraludon, and that's it. Continuing on, Ghastly, Sacred Charm, and a Mega Lopunny EX, followed by a Lightning Energy. Let's sleeve them up and take a brief look. The colors are nice, but I mean, let's be real. Who really cares about this one? We have a Ludicolo, a Metal Cleaner, Bronzor, and a Mega Heracross EX. Two hits in a row ain't too bad. Oh, Charmander. Will his bigger brother be right behind him? No. went too far, but here's a wondrous patch. A Seviper. A Rotom EX Secret Rare. This is probably the big pull of the box, unfortunately. But hey, what are you gonna do? At least we get a Genesect. If you saw my previous video, that being the Surging Sparks box, you will recall that things were looking pretty bleak before I ended up pulling the Pikachu. The Brava, IPOM or APOM, and a Reshiram. Psychic Energy. Here is the bulk. Char Cadet. Jumbo Ice Cream. That really is a lot of ice cream. And an Empoleon EX. Good thing we get a Steel Energy to support that Pokemon. We have Grimsley's move, a full art Meowth, and another Vileplume. Observe the bulk. We have Rookodile. Rookadil sounds like a terrible new drug. A Smeargle. And the full art Grimsley's move. Bulk. Granbull. Paldean Wooper, full art, and a Suicune. Let us observe the bulk. Pretty cool looking. There is a lot of really good art that they're just, for seemingly no reason at all, just slapping it on these bulk cards. We're doing the double printing again. Charizard, Charizard, Gengar, Gengar. Reverse Hollow Charmander, always cool. A Mamoswine. And another Flygon. Since this box seems to be a bit dead, I'm hoping that it's enough to lull you to sleep. I certainly would be. Oof, look at that. Of course, that will be the Bizarre, won't it be? No, it's just a Sandile. Thank goodness. A Milcery and another Ambipom. Let us observe the bulk. Two of the same cards in both reverse hollow and regular. Gengar pack. Murkrow. Linoon. And a full art trainer, Dawn. I don't think I've ever pulled two full art trainers from a single box. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Although I did pull a gold trainer card and then a full art trainer. I don't know if you would count that. Did you notice how the packs stuck together there a little bit? We have Charmeleon, Piplup, and Suicune. So it didn't do anything for us. Let us observe the bulk. Ooh, Charmeleon again. Always interesting when you get both the regular and reverse hollow in the same pack. We have a reverse hollow Reshiram rare, a Dugong, and another Pawmot. I'm surprised I haven't gotten more of that one. Let us observe the bulk. Linoon. Okay. Coming down to the wire, we'll save Charizard for last, of course. We have Lotad, Misdreavus, and another other Oxtricity. Well, now, we must invoke last pack magic. Will we pull the Zard from this pack? We have Trapinch, Buneary, and Moltres. So this box was a dud, but you can't win them all, I suppose. We have Dawn, Paldean Wooper, Grimsley's Move, Meowth, which was likely the big hit from this box, Empoleon, Rotom, probably the other big hit from the box, Mega Heracross, Mega Lopunny, Oricorio, Rotom, Charizard, Sharpedo, Zacian, and Piplup. So, not a great box, but what are you gonna do? I'm thinking of opening for my next video this Arceus V-Star Ultra Premium Collection. What do you think? Should I crack it open or should I keep it sealed? As a bonus round, I will be opening these Phantasmal Flames fun packs that I found from somewhere. I'm not expecting any big hits, but I figured what the hey, let's open them and have some fun. Who knows? Ghastly, Mimikyu, Bramblegast. Darumaka, Dugong, Dawn. Sableye, Charcadet, Boltund. What are the chances? None. It's none. There are no chances. We have Murkrow, Bronzor, and finally a palm, I palm, whatever. Thank you for spending your evening with me on this episode of Late Night Rip Sesh with Mega Evolution Phantasmal Flames. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody.